Tate Black has found controversy once again. After weeks of holding onto a dangerous secret, Tate decides that he can no longer keep quiet. The guilt and pressure become too much, and he ultimately chooses to do what he believes is right, even if it means betraying someone close. In a moment of inner conflict, Tate reaches out to Julie Williams with shocking information. Over the phone, he reveals that Doug Williams III, someone Julie has grown increasingly fond of, was the one who stole her precious necklace. It's a revelation that stuns Julie to the core. Julie has always had a deep, unwavering loyalty to her family. But over recent months, her connection with Doug had taken on a new and meaningful depth. He reminded her of the past, of the strength that ties the Horton legacy together. Tate's confession shatters that image in an instant. At first, Tate tries to hide what he's done from Holly Jonas, his girlfriend and Doug's closest confidant. But Holly's instincts are sharp, and she quickly picks up on Tate's unease. It doesn't take long before she discovers the betrayal. "You betrayed him. You betrayed us," Holly tells Tate, her voice trembling with anger and hurt. "My selfish boyfriend betrayed you," she later tells Doug, confronting the painful truth. Julie takes action, and the investigation deepens. Once Julie hears the accusation from Tate, she wastes no time. Fueled by a mix of heartbreak and determination, she confronts Doug at the Horton house. It's a tense moment. For Doug, who has come to cherish Julie's friendship and warmth, the confrontation hits hard. The trust they built feels like it's slipping away, and fast. Meanwhile, Julie's frustration with the situation pushes her to take things a step further. Despite her earlier hesitation, she officially files a police report, hoping to bring clarity and resolution. The case, which had already implicated Melinda Trask in the theft, now grows more tangled as new details come to light. Julie's accusation had initially been directed at Melinda, a move that sent shockwaves through Salem's legal circles. But now, with Tate's confession pointing to Doug, Melinda is desperate to clear her name. J.J. Devereaux, who has recently taken a keen interest in the investigation, is determined to get to the bottom of it all. He arranges another interrogation with Melinda, asking difficult questions that she's ready to answer. Melinda warns Doug privately, telling him that if this doesn't stop soon, she will have no choice but to speak out against him. But with no solid evidence directly linking Doug to the necklace theft, the situation becomes murkier than ever. For now, she keeps her composure and tries to weather the storm. Holly and Doug. A quiet moment amid the chaos as chaos begins to swirl around them. Doug and Holly find a moment of calm. Doug reaches out to her, and the two sit down for a heart-to-heart. Doug shares Julie's discovery about the necklace and his fears about what may come next. He knows the walls are closing in, and the guilt is beginning to weigh heavily. Holly, always one to find the silver lining, tries to ease his concerns. She comforts him, encouraging him to stay strong. Despite her heartbreak over Tate's betrayal, she holds on to hope that this secret can be managed, at least for now. Still, Holly can't shake the feeling that something more is buried beneath the surface. She suspects there's another layer to the story, something that hasn't yet come to light. She makes a quiet prediction that once Doug recovers the necklace and brings it to Julie himself, the truth may be seen in a different light. But time is running out. Across town, unbeknownst to Holly, Tate is already speaking to Julie, sharing everything. His decision to come clean could change the course of all their lives. New love in the air. Leo and Javi's blossoming romances, secrets, and betrayals play out in one corner of Salem, romances blossoming in another. Leo Stark, who has had his fair share of misadventures, is finding something surprisingly real with Javi Hernandez. The two have grown closer over time, but now that they're living under the same roof, their bond is deepening in unexpected ways. A romantic evening together marks a turning point for the pair. Laughter, shared memories, and gentle affection give way to something more intimate, a quiet but powerful realization that what they're building might be more than just a fleeting connection. Leo, known for his playful antics and sharp tongue, is showing a more vulnerable side, one that Javi embraces wholeheartedly. For Javi, who had been hesitant to open up in the past, Leo offers a sense of safety and acceptance. Their love story provides a welcome contrast to the tension gripping the rest of Salem, reminding viewers that even amid chaos, love can still thrive. The fallout begins back at the Horton house. Julie is left to grapple with what she's learned. Her heart aches over Doug's actions, but she also recognizes that the full truth may be more complicated than it seems. Doug's eyes carry regret but also confusion. Could there be a piece of the puzzle missing? JJ's investigation is far from over, and now with Doug as the central suspect, more interrogations are likely to follow. As for Tate and Holly, their relationship may never recover from this betrayal. What began as a teenage romance filled with promise now stands on shaky ground. And as Doug sits in quiet contemplation, the words of Holly echo in his mind about secrets, about redemption, about the power of truth. He knows that only by confronting the situation head-on can he begin to make things right. Will Doug step forward and confess everything? Can Julie forgive him? Will Tate and Holly find their way back to each other, or is the damage already done? Next, Julie Williams demands justice. A stolen heirloom, a bold accusation, and a bistro showdown in Salem. There are few women in Salem as strong-willed, elegant, and unshakably loyal as Julie Williams. So when she walked into the bistro with her husband Doug and grandson JJ by her side, she certainly wasn't expecting to be thrust into a heated confrontation that would stir up old memories, family pride, and a sudden burst of righteous fury. But that's exactly what happened, all because of a glimmering necklace around the wrong woman's neck. It started like any other evening. Kristen DiMera, ever the schemer with a flair for dramatic exits, had arrived at the bistro to meet with former district attorney Melinda Trask. Their business? A critical waiver agreement concerning Rachel, Kristen's daughter, that also involved a major change for EJ DiMera, a shift in parental dynamics, legal custody, and likely some hidden motives Kristen hadn't yet revealed. Kristen slid the document across the table with that cool confidence she's known for. Melinda read the terms and gave a sly, approving smirk. It's a great deal for Rachel, she admitted. And quite a shake-up for EJ. She was moments from signing and witnessing the document when the calm of the restaurant was shattered. Julie, Doug, and JJ strolled in, but Julie stopped dead in her tracks, eyes locked on Melinda Trask. More specifically, on the glittering piece of jewelry hanging around the woman's neck. Julie gasped, her voice trembling with shock and fury. "Oh my God! That's my grandmother's necklace." Melinda barely had time to glance up before Julie surged forward, standing across from her with her hand on the chair, face flushed with a mix of disbelief and outrage. Kristen, sensing drama of a kind she didn't want to be part of, smoothly excused herself and slipped away. She delivered the document, and now someone else's firestorm was about to erupt. Julie leaned in, pointing at the necklace with shaking hands. "That belonged to my grandmother. That necklace has been in our family for generations. Where did you get it?" Melinda raised her chin and gave a dismissive laugh. "You must be mistaken, Julie." "I most certainly am not," Julie snapped back. "That necklace disappeared from my jewelry case years ago. You have no right to wear it. It was stolen." Melinda, never one to back down, crossed her arms. "And do you have a police report? Any proof? If not, then I suggest you and your little entourage step back." JJ Donovan, trained law enforcement and fiercely protective of his family, took a step forward. "Where did you get the necklace, Melinda?" From behind the mask of calm, Trask answered, "From a reputable private jeweler, someone I've worked with for years." "Are you really going to accuse me of knowingly wearing stolen property?" Julie's voice cracked with emotion. "That necklace belonged to my grandmother, and I last saw it on December 2nd. It was gone without a trace, and I never reported it stolen because I didn't know where it had gone. I thought maybe I'd misplaced it, but now I know better." Melinda stood her ground, but the tension between them was electric. "Well," she said coolly, "without a report or proof of ownership, I suggest you leave me alone." Julie didn't budge. Instead, she pulled out her phone, held it up, and snapped a picture of Melinda with the necklace on. Melinda blinked, then laughed in disbelief. "Are you seriously taking my picture?" "Absolutely," Julie said, "and I'm going straight to the police. If that necklace is what I know it is, my grandmother's heirloom, then you'll be hearing from them. And I'll make sure this time it is on the record." JJ nodded and gently took his grandmother's arm. "Let's go make a statement." As Julie and JJ walked out of the bistro, leaving behind an icy silence, Doug remained, locking eyes with Melinda. There was no love lost between them, and Melinda, realizing she was on shaky ground, raised her glass and said sarcastically, "Well, if I'm going to be accused of grand larceny, the least you can do is buy me another drink." Doug hesitated, You know that necklace has sentimental value to Julie. If there's any truth to her claim, Melinda cut him off. There's no evidence. And if the police do try to drag me into this, you'd better believe I'll throw you under the bus. You think this town hasn't turned its back on me before? Meanwhile, at the police station, Julie sat across from JJ and gave a full account of the necklace's history. Her voice, though firm, trembled with a mix of hope and hurt. It was the last piece my grandmother ever gave me before she passed, she said softly. It's not just about the jewelry. It's about legacy. Love. Memory. That necklace carries generations of Williams' family history, and now it's around the neck of a woman who doesn't deserve it. JJ took down her statement, promising to investigate. But both knew that unless they could track the provenance of the necklace, it could come down to a he said, she said, or worse, be swept under the rug completely. Still, Julie wouldn't rest. This wasn't just about jewelry. It was about integrity. About justice. And no matter how long it took, she vowed to see the truth exposed and her family's legacy reclaimed. In Salem, the past never stays buried for long. And when it comes to matters of the heart or the heirloom, Julie Williams will always fight to bring the truth to light. One stolen necklace has now ignited a spark that could bring down powerful names, resurrect old feuds, and change the balance of power in a town that thrives on secrets. Julie's crusade for justice is just beginning, and Melinda Trask may soon discover that in Salem you don't mess with the Williams, especially when family heirlooms are involved. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.